Module 3, Navigating the Legal Landscape Scales #. Compliance is non-negotiable. As an NGO in Zimbabwe, you operate within a specific and evolving legal framework. Understanding and adhering to these laws is essential for your organization's legal standing, operational license, and overall legitimacy. 3.1 The PVO Act explained: registration, compliance, and reporting. The Private Voluntary Organizations (PVO) Act is the primary law governing NGOs in Zimbabwe. It is critical to be aware of the Act and its recent amendments, which have significantly increased regulatory oversight. Registration. The Act now mandates that a broader range of organizations, including many that previously operated as trusts or under common law, must register as PVOs to operate legally. The registration process requires the submission of the organization's constitution, details of its objectives, funding sources, and information on its leadership, beneficial owners. Key compliance requirements. Prohibition on political involvement. The Act introduces a strict prohibition on PVOs engaging in partisan political activity. This includes supporting or opposing any political party or candidate in an election. Violations can result in severe civil penalties, fines, and potential imprisonment for office bearers. Ministerial powers and oversight. The Act grants significant powers to the responsible minister, including the ability to suspend the executive committee of a PVO and appoint a temporary trustee or manager if there is suspicion of maladministration or if it is deemed to be in the public interest. Reporting material changes. PVOs are legally required to notify and get approval from the registrar for any significant, material change to their organization, such as changes to the constitution, objectives, leadership, or control structure. Financial transparency and controls. To align with anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism (AML/CFT) standards, PVOs must use formal financial channels, i.e., registered banks, for transmitting funds. They must also take measures to identify their donors and cannot receive donations from illegitimate sources. Regular reporting. PVOs are required to submit regular, usually annual, reports on their activities and finances to the registrar. The register of all PVOs is a public document and can be inspected by any member of the public. 3.2 Understanding ZIMRA requirements for NGOs. The Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, ZIMRA, is the state body responsible for collecting taxes and duties. NGOs have specific obligations and potential exemptions. Tax registration. All organizations, upon formation, must register with ZIMRA and obtain a Business Partner Number, BPN. This is required for all tax purposes. Tax obligations. Pay as you earn. This is a legal requirement. NGOs must deduct the correct amount of income tax from their employees' salaries each month and remit it to ZIMRA by the due date. Withholding tax. When an NGO makes payments to suppliers for goods and services, and that supplier does not have a valid tax clearance certificate, ITF 263, the NGO is required to withhold a percentage of the payment, currently 10%, and remit it to ZIMRA. Tax exemptions and rebates. Income tax exemption. Being a non-profit does not grant automatic exemption from income tax. An organization must apply to the ZIMRA Commissioner for an exemption certificate, proving it is an ecclesiastical, charitable, or educational institution of a public character. Duty-free rebates. Registered PVOs can apply for a rebate of duty on the importation of fully donated goods intended for free distribution for charitable purposes. This is governed by Section 124 of the Customs and Excise General Regulations. A formal application must be made to and approved by ZIMRA before the goods are imported. This rebate notably excludes second-hand motor vehicles, new clothing and linen, and most foodstuffs, unless special permission is granted.